Howdy, howdy. Gotta turn that volume down. It's too loud last time, man. So, I got the gist of how. First of all, my original video was a mess. Secondly, I forgot Trash Man, so here I am giving him a bit of love. Lastly, God, I can't jump. And I was playing the first version of the mod. Now I'm doing the second version. So this is gonna be the definitive version where they've added a lot, and whoever I just bumped into just took a lot of ram damage. There's ram damage, by the way. Sorry about that. So, oh my god, a lot of things changed with the mod, as I've stated. In the second version, it has the ram damage, which makes these big fellas even bigger to play. Better to play, bigger, better. Who knows? I don't. But they're better. Oh my god, I forgot about that. So, Trash Man, he's pretty good. I'm gonna start with him because, you know, Trash Man. So, now I will say that the tiers all practically stayed the same except for ram damage, which is gonna knock about 1 or 2 people down. For starters, Pizza Boy. I'm sorry. He's down to superior. He feels too easy to hit. Like, when you bump into him, it feels too easy to hit him. You know, like, I never have problems ramming Pizza Boy in particular. He's still a mean son of a gun, don't get me wrong. His blades still hurt, but look how much ram damage he just did to me by bumping into me in the middle of a jump. If I go run into him again, even though I'm the one that hit him, I take a decent amount. I turbo, I take more. Like, you gotta be scared when playing as these little fellas not to bump into somebody. And for some reason, it feels like with Pedro's mod, I don't know if he did this on purpose or not, but I feel like, you know, particular cars, they like to run into you, like, way more than they did in the original game. But that doesn't mean you're not able to play these people. These particular cars still able to achieve greatness. Now, Pizza Boy did get a little bit more health, and he got a bit more handling. His blades come back a bit faster, but I still feel like with the ram damage and the fact that we're going to talk about this in the next video and a bit now, because, you know, there's too many big cars to deal with, and when you run into big cars, they do big damage. The worst of all is going to be Minion, as a heads up, but it hurts really bad to run into somebody with Pizza Boy, which is another thing to watch out for. It's a hazard, and that's why I put him into the superior range, because he's still really good. Like, with 500 more health, it doesn't sound like much, but it makes a difference. It makes a huge difference. Now, I know what I said about Pizza Boy stands even worse for Microblast, because he has no ram damage that he can deal. Like, he takes the most damage for ramming. You'll see that in the patch notes, but he still belongs up here in the maximum threat level, because he's still really small. He's still pretty hard to bump into, and just shooting him is very difficult, which would put him in the superior range if it wasn't for his his special damage being increased as high as it has been. As you can see, everyone has different changes to their ram damage. You know, Trash Man is 71%, and he has defense increased for his ram defense, while Microblast is at a solid 50% decrease. If you look at other characters that have ram defense, that's a decreased. There isn't anybody. Nobody else has a ram damage decreased on their defense, not even Quattro. You know, but we've got this fella floating around here eating 50% more damage from a ram. Not to mention people already have high ram damage now, so you can lose half of your health running into somebody. Let me show you. So I decided to pick, you know, the fella that does the most ram damage, while I picked the guy that's got the least. Check this out. I scraped into him, so he took 80% of my health. The initial strike was 50%, so if that scrape did just as much damage, yep, I'm dead. That's how easy it is to die to ram damage with Microblast. At the same time, though, I can't ridicule the man, because he still does so much damage. This is Minion. He just lost a third of his health. I mean, I just lost most of my health and I'm dead. But a third of his health to 26 stocked up Gatlingers. That's unreasonable amounts of damage in just one freeze. And Minion, I do believe he has 20,000 health now, which is pretty high. I'll go over more in the boss video, but Microblast, just for that damage and the tiny size, you know, he deserves that spot in Superior. You know, if you're not a big fan of him, but me personally, I think he's a maximum threat. Especially when he uses those Gatlingers as an AI, it is just hard to get away from it. Alright, you already know where he's going. I'm not even gonna say more on Quattro. He got buffed. You know, he didn't lose any ram damage, he didn't gain any. He belongs in maximum threat level. And, you know, sorry about this, Pedro, but I gotta tell the people, there's gonna be further buffs in the third version, and he is going to be doing a lot more damage with his special. So do not expect to see Quattro move on my list. He is not moving ever, not on the original game, and not in this game. You know, the versions do not matter, but in this particular version, or either version, he belongs there for just anybody. He is a maximum threat. Calypso stayed the same. I know just a lot of this. Anyway, Calypso, yeah, he's at maximum, but he got buffed. So this fella, on top of being able to neutralize someone's health, he can't even further now with his massive 600 ray damage, and his health is buffed to 10,000. Now, I'm not going to give any more insider information away because I don't want to spoil things for people, but Pedro just he gave me a little bit of spice to work with. That's mainly because he knew that Quattro was my boy. Now, Calypso, they gave him 1,500 health back, so he's he's hitting a bit harder. Speed's 125, so he's moving a bit faster. But that ram offensive, look at that 43% increase. He has another way to deal out damage. So if you hit one of these smaller cars, like let's say Pizza Boy, you bump into him, with a bit of turbo, send him about 30 feet away, and then launch a nuke. That's an instant kill. There are situations where you can instantly kill with him. So I wanted to go over something real quick, because this is exactly how I did it originally. I know for a fact I can kill someone in one shot with his special after ramming them if they're a tiny car. I want to prove a point here, though. This is how much damage he can actually hit if Goggle Eyes would... Come on, man. Okay. So, this was a failure. Hold on a second. Okay. That is what I'm talking about. And let me remind you that Goggle Eyes has 12,000 health now. Double Pizza Boy's health. Well, not pre-up or post-update Pizza Boy, but okay, post-update Captain Grandma. Instant kill. So that's where he's staying. That's where he's always gonna stay. Like, Calypso is a god in this game. If you can land the missiles, like, he was already at maximum before. Now, I want to move on to Drag Queen, because he actually changed up Drag Queen a little bit. And honestly, even though it was a nerf, he still belongs in the moderate, because he's still good. Like, there's not really much wrong with him. He got a buff on his health, but what we wanted was, a bit more damage. We got it originally, but then he got a nerf by 5 damage, which isn't much. And the duration got dropped a bit, so you can't do as much damage with fire. So it was just a little bit of a nerf. You notice a bit less damage, but it's still miles apart from how it was originally. And for a car that can go, 180 miles per hour, that's pretty good. And, the regen's once every minute, so that's also nice. I would give damage comparisons, but in the original video, it took about almost half of Goggle Eyes' health with machine guns. It wouldn't be much different now. Probably a third of his health. So you're not missing out on much. Now we're moving on to Rob Zombie, who goes in Superior. Now, I realized this talking to Pedro and, just myself testing it out, that I was way too harsh on him, putting him in the moderate zone. He did get buffs, by the way. That's another reason he's going in superior. Nerfs, I'm sorry. But, I mean, the changes to his kit was more like a buff. So, I'm about to show everyone why these... So, check this out, firstly. That's awesome. You can grab 4 people with it instead of just the original 2. Now it does blow up faster, but you got enough time to drop an auto lob, and if you drop an auto lob on that group of people, you're gonna kill everyone there over halfway. I mean, just look at the damage it did to Goggle Eyes. It did real damage. Like you cannot beat that. That's why Rob Zombie goes into the superior level. Because he's just superior. His damage is good. He can snag everybody pretty much. And he's got a bit more health than I felt like originally. Now I want to move on to Trash Man. And Trash Man, he would be superior also if the other Crusher vehicles didn't exist, which puts him in the moderate for me. No, I will give him a superior spot, I think. Nah, I mean the ram damage is good, but the Trash Man, he's moderate. Well, Psych, he's actually going in the superior range, and this is why, when the buffs happened, he got more speed, which means he can catch you faster, he can ram you faster, his regen's faster, his handling limit's higher, so he handles way better than he used to. His damage was almost doubled. His slams up and down are faster, so you can put in less shots while they're being slammed. But with the slam damage, you don't have to use up as many shots. It gives you more shots for everybody else. He's just all around better. But you stay so cool. Mona Lisa. You weren't supposed to hear that. You weren't supposed to be heard. So, Trash Man, he has a lot more damage coming out of those smashes. Crusher got a huge buff in the changes. So, I think he's another 20,000 unit. Took almost half his health. This poor son of a gun did not stand a chance against the real Crusher. Being Trash Man. Trash Man just, he's got enough to just keep going. He's got plenty. Yeah, this is why he is the best. He's the best big car other than, nah, I'm just kidding. I mean, I like him, but there's still other cars that outperform him in the big area. And those arms, like, since they do move faster, you can also miss your special one. Because they move so fast, you'll miss your opportunity to actually open up on them. But, I mean, look at that. You can ram Crusher, who has some of the highest ram damage other than, like, Minion. You can actually ram him to death. Now, I might run out of room for this. Trash Man's superior. Meter Maid, I'm also going to put back in superior. She got some changes. She got some ups and downs. Like, for example, if we check it out, she got a little bit less health. Not too much to fret about. She got a bit more speed, makes her feel a bit more like a small car. It's more handling. Her range was dropped. Her delay is a little bit lower, so you can use your specials a bit faster behind each other. The damage is lowered a bit, so it doesn't, it's a bit closer to how it was originally, but the lifesteal was jumped up substantially. Like, this is a phenomenal increase. You're not going to die very often playing Meter Maid, and Pedro was kind enough to cut down a regen and give you an initial special right off the bat, just in case you take a little bit of tickling up. So, she's gonna stay in superior. Now I'll give you a little example. So I'm halfway dead, and when I use it, I get about half my health back from that half, so about a quarter of your health back. Which really, that's not bad. I use another one, and I'm practically full. If I get blown up, And as you can see, the damage still isn't that bad. Like, it's still some serviceable damage. And I am not showing my true colors right now. I cannot hit the back of a barnyard door. Easy peasy. And that's why meter maid stays there. Now, I'm sorry about the audio in advance. I forgot about the whole every time you reload it thing, it's going to be turned up. So I'm going to fix that starting now. But we have the Joneses. Still a superior threat. Like, they're still good. Like, that hasn't changed. Now, they do get their specials back a bit quicker, and they got a little bit more health. Now, whether you saw the last video or not, I still don't want to open the Joneses back up. Just know that they're the modern warhead, if you call this game modern. So that's where they belong. Now, Orbital. I want to get started on Orbital because I've played him a bit more, and I think he's a superior threat as well. Now, the duration got dropped a bit, which I think is actually a buff. Everything else got increased on him, including the fact that he has offensive RAM and defensive capabilities. Because, why would you expect a level 5 armored car to do a crap load of damage bumping into a smaller car? I guess it's because he's like an arrow. You shoot him at 180 miles per hour and he hits like a truck when he does land. But with the duration, you can only get in 3 orbs instead of 4. So, things got a bit, iffy on that part. But, like, who's going to need to launch more than 2 orbs on a regular basis? So, he belongs in Superior after getting a lot of work with him. And also, I don't want to end up having to play as him to waste everyone's time. Just know that I've been playing him more, and I understand why people like him. I just think Pedro's version is way better. Goggle Eyes. He belongs... I really don't know. I'm still gonna say he varies, but that's... I think he's awesome, man. Like, Pedro made new changes. So he got even more health. He got more speed. He did get his range dropped, but the delay was also dropped, and the regen was dropped, or nerfed, my bad. The initial was switched from 3 to 2, so you have the less specials, they're shorter, the delay was cut down a little bit, but you're wondering where's the real buffs other than the health and the speed? Well, he actually increased the damage. He was able to find the source for it. He's got more handling, and on top of him being, a little boxed bullet train, he can also, ram pretty hard. He can take it pretty good. Oh, and by the way, the music in the background is compliments of my wife. I don't know nothing. I don't know any of that music they're playing. But that's the playlist we made a while back. I feel like Super Slam might try to kill me. I'm just not having it. Get off me, man. So check this out. His new speeds, or new range, my god, get off me, you piece of trash. That's how it's gonna be, isn't it? Alright. I'm just trying to give a demonstration, dude. So as you can see, the range has been decreased. It's not marginal. It is a third of what the original range was, but the damage was increased, and it was the width. I feel like was increased too, because I feel like I can actually hit multiple people with it if they're piled up in front of me. Which Twist Metal 4 AI likes to do that a lot. But as you can see, the damage is nutty now. Super Slam's on the higher side for health. He's a boss, but half his health just about. Like, come on, you can't tell me that, I'm not playing a good call right now.
Oh, by the way, it's 1:30.
He is extremely dangerous now. Extremely dangerous. You just gotta know your range. Like, if you're used to playing him a lot before, he's not the same now. You gotta get used to that range. He's just gonna keep freezing me until, you can go eat a dick, honestly. Yeah, screw you, buddy. really big on spam. That's another thing with it. When you're playing against the bots, the AI, they love it to use that aggravating freeze. He spams it. He spams freeze left and right. Captain Grimm. Sorry, not General Warthog. Captain Grimm. Maximum threat. He got that. You can ram him into oblivion, but he got a way more knockback for a special, so you can't really hit follow-ups. The handling limit got way better, but his damage went up 500, which, you know, for Mr. Grimm, that's a big deal. I'm gonna give an example with the knockback. That's about what it is now. And as you can see, the damage, really good. Really good damage. You can't beat some real Mr. Grimm action when we weren't getting it from the base of vanilla Twisted Metal 4, which that's one of the few things I didn't like about this game, was how Mr. Grimm was Captain Grimm, and he threw snowflakes at people. General Warthog, he stays up here, because as you can see, not only did he get a lot faster, and he got regen extremely decreased. That's almost a 50% or 100% decrease. Well, you could say 50%, 100% will be 0 seconds, but it's about a 50% decrease, if you want to say so. His ram damage was increased a lot. Like, you're gonna go through people, quite literally go through them more often than you'd expect. And you're gonna get your specials back faster. You're gonna beat him faster. You can handle a lot better. It's just a good time. So I thought I'd give a little example of the ram damage. Look at that. Just about a third of Pizza Boy's health, and him just bumping into me like bots do is doing damage. And let me throw a little special at him, just to prove a point. The lights out. That's all she wrote, my friends. No, that is all she wrote. So this is the complete tier list, the actual tier list. This is what you would expect to see on my tier list, and it shouldn't look like this on anyone else's, because really these characters are good. Like, Pedro outdid himself. Now, if Drag Queen, you know, there wasn't a Goggle Eyes that existed, or if there wasn't a Super Thumper, then Drag Queen could be up in Superior, just because the damage and the speed's just amazing. But I feel like at the end of the day, he's outperformed in just every way from both characters. Other than speed, like that's it. But I mean, hey, come on, yeah, we all want the damage. So this is the complete tier list. I'm glad everyone was here to join in for the tier list. I'm gonna be doing a boss video, a video on the things in general that have changed, and a video on the weapons, just letting people know everything in general that's different. You know the likes and dislikes, which dislikes are very few to none. Like, this is a very well made mod. Pedro outdid himself, and I'm not having that. Now, what I want to say is, you know, if people really want to see it, I can start live streaming the game so they can see it in full action. Because, like I said, a lot has changed. I found out a couple of secret things that Pedro put in there for us to find ourselves. And I was surprised. Like, this game operates really well, like a completed game, man. He just blew it out of the water with this one. I love how the weapons operate. I love it. I love it. Can't say it enough. Pedro, you killed it. Oh, come on, he's almost dead. But, you know, I just hope everyone has a nice day. You know, and enjoy, keep on keeping on. And, most of all, have fun, man. Just don't get yourself killed. I'm not scared of orbital. I'm scared of doing a little tail stand and dying. But I wasn't trying, it's like 50%. Let's see if you're interested in the live. Have a nice day, though, man. I don't own any of the music tracks, anything that's been played in the background whatsoever, just so everyone knows. But yeah, I'll catch you guys around the corner, man. I know I said goodbye twice, but this time I mean it. Get out of here, huh?